Welcome to a presentation of the latest enhancements to TxSTUDIO. TxSTUDIO 5.4 features more powerful tools for complete implant, restorative planning and treatment, and airway analysis. Treatment Studio treatment software is included with new iCat Cone Beam 3D scanners, giving general dentists and specialists the tools to place and restore implants, perform oral surgery, periodontics, prosthodontics, orthodontics, utilize CAD/CAM applications, and analyze TMJ and airway with greater confidence and lower radiation options.
Let's begin with nerve editing and node customization.
Within the Art Section tab, after a manual nerve pathway tracing, each node placed may be selected for modification. You may select a node in the control panel and change the diameter of the tracing between those nodes. You may also alter the path of the tracing by clicking on a node and moving your mouse.
Finding the degree of angulation between non-adjacent implants.
New in the Implant View tab is the ability to find the degree of angulation between non-adjacent implants. When the Implant Angle Dialog tool is toggled on, these values change in real time as implants are rotated.
Establishing a parallel implant grouping.
In the previous TxSTUDIO version, all implants of a like arch could be set as parallel to one another. In TxSTUDIO 5.4, this option remains with the enhanced ability of allowing individual groups of implants to be set as parallel. In the Pano implant window, let's group numbers 29 and 31. You'll notice that as one implant moves, so does the other. To break the grouping, click on one of the nodes and select Yes in the dialog window. Another enhancement in the Pano implant window is that brightness, contrast, and image sharpening may be set for the panoramic window as well as the volume windows.
Sinus graft simulation.
Sinus grafts may now be placed directly onto the patient's scan. The resulting graft is displayed on both the 3D volume as well as the cross sections. The volumetric measurement of the graft is displayed above the 3D graft.
Automatic check sleeve.
The check sleeves tool can be performed to determine the position sleeves would be if a surgical guide was produced for implant placement. This function simulates possible collisions that may occur between sleeves, the instrument, and the stone model. In TxSTUDIO 5.4, this option will automatically appear when attempting to save anatomized surgical guide cases.
Personalized visibility settings.
In TxSTUDIO 5.4, enhancements have been made to the visibility settings. In the Implant and Restoration View tabs, you may configure presets for features such as the stone models, implants, nerves, and more. Once these presets are set up, you can easily switch between various views.
Improved abutment design.
In TxSTUDIO 5.4, abutment design has been relocated from the Implant View tab to the Restoration tab and renamed Custom Abutment. Once selected, a dialog window will appear containing parameters more logically positioned than the previous version. New design tools have been added as well. To demonstrate, let's add abutments to previously placed implants with wax-ups. After they are placed, their characteristics may then be edited. For example, the shape sliders enable modifications to be made to the abutment height and mesiodistal and buccolingual angles. Within the rendering window, the dots may be moved to edit additional parameters. Within the dialog window, abutment grouping may be selected to enable parallel insertion angles. Let's select numbers 31 and 29. Now, when the mesiodistal or buccolingual angles change for one abutment, they will change for the entire group to remain parallel to one another.
New rendering window for crown design.
To assist with crown design, TxSTUDIO 5.4 introduces a new rendering window option. You may expand the upper right single tooth rendering window by selecting Change Layout in the toolbar. In the new window, the tooth model may be independently manipulated. You may use the Move widget to make gross changes to the model, or you may left mouse click on D, distal, M, mesial, B, buccal, or L, lingual, to move the restoration short steps in the selected direction within the main rendering window.
New bridge design tools.
Two new bridge design tools have been added in TxSTUDIO 5.4. Create Pontic with gingiva and create bridge connector between selected restorations. To illustrate these tools, implants have been placed and wax-ups added for tooth numbers 29 and 31. Let's add and place a restoration for tooth number 30. Once the restoration has been added to the model, adjustments may be made using the Move widget. The red and blue bubbles will change the mesiodistal or buccolingual dimensions. Moving the arrows in the widget will change the mesiodistal or buccolingual cant, depending on the view orientation. Next, to interface the restoration with the stone model, we'll select Create Pontic with gingiva from the toolbar. A dialog window will open asking how you would like to interface the bottom of the Pontic with the model. If Fitted is selected, the restoration will be reshaped to fit the contour of the stone model. If Scaled is selected, the restoration size will be scaled such that the bottom is the appropriate offset distance from the stone model. Now let's select each restoration by holding down Control and left mouse clicking, and then choose Create Bridge Connectors between selected restorations. A dialog window will appear asking if you want to create a bridge for reduced crowns. A yes answer will create a bridge with editable connectors. A no response will create a bridge that links the restorations but does not have connectors. A bridge will now be created linking the selecting restorations. Connectors may be clicked on to open an Options dialog window. Also, the connector will appear in the rendering window located at the top right of the screen. Any shape changes made in the option window will appear in the rendering windows real time. Any changes made to the connector's diameter will appear after Apply is selected. The bridge group may be deleted and converted back into the individual restorations by clicking on the bridge and selecting Delete on the keyboard.
New crown design tools.
To assist with crown placement, TxSTUDIO 5.4 has introduced two new tools, Fit to Margin and Fit to Custom Abutment. When either is selected, the Build Crown dialog window will appear. This feature allows for adjustment of the base of the restoration to interface optimally with a prepped tooth or abutment.
3D surgery simulation.
New in TxSTUDIO 5.4 is a 3D surgery simulation feature, the only true volume-based surgical analysis. The 3D surgery tool allows the user to simulate surgical cuts and adjustments to better access the surgical procedures necessary to achieve facial harmony. Once the patient's scan has been traced, you will be able to use the software's automatically generated maxilla, mandible, and chin cuts that will allow for surgery simulation and comparisons of pre- and post-surgery volumes. When the cuts are enabled, you may adjust them by dragging the arrows and control points into position to simulate surgery. Cuts are made where the volume intersects the translucent planes. As surgical cuts are made and anatomy moved, a post-surgery tracing is calculated based upon the new measurements. Analysis data is updated in the table on the right side of the screen. To better visualize the tracing, you can toggle off the visibility of the volume. In 3D analysis, you may overlay a patient's photo over the CBCT volume for better visualization of the changes proposed by surgery. Soft tissue deformation will be clearly viewed when the pre-surgery and post-surgery options in the control panel are toggled. You can also use the soft tissue prediction feature to visualize the patient's frontal asymmetry and make summary adjustments accordingly.
Using profilogram to compare pre- and post-tracings.
Another new tool in the 3D analysis module is profilogram. Profilogram is a simplified 2D representation of a tracing. It is useful for quick visualizations of the tracing. If 3D surgery was performed on the patient or if a tracing was superimposed, the original tracing's profilogram will be drawn with a solid line, while the superimposed tracing will be drawn with a dashed line. Additional visibility options to the left of the image will allow the user to hide or display lines, labels, and the ruler. By default, the profilogram will be registered on the cella and superimposed about the Frankfurt horizontal plane, but it is customizable.
Patient reorientation and navigation.
TxSTUDIO 5.4 offers an update to patient reorientation and navigation in the Section tab. This provides an alternative method of viewing scans for radiologists. To make changes to the volume coordinates, simply click Reorientation on the toolbar, then left mouse click on the arrows and drag them in a desired direction. When finished making changes, simply click the Reorientation tool again to lock them in. You can always go back to the volume's original coordinate system by clicking Reorientation again and selecting Yes to Do you want to reset the patient coordinate system.
Detailed airway analysis.
TxSTUDIO 5.4 offers more comprehensive and exclusive tools which allows a 2D analysis of the airway with quantitative information on the anterior-posterior distance and left and right distance. The airway can now be created and visualized in the variable quadrant. Changes in the parameters and area of the cross-sectional area along the airway are displayed graphically.
Creating 3D custom sections.
Another new feature within the Section View tab is the ability to create custom sections of the desired anatomy with appearances more like traditional intraoral X-rays. You are then able to view them in all three dimensions. Once a custom section is created, its thickness is adjustable through the control panel or by dragging a center point of the custom section tool.
Reordering of captured gallery images.
In TxSTUDIO 5.4, images saved to the gallery can be reordered for better organization and presentation purposes.
Enhance TMJ viewing feature.
In the TMJ tab of TxSTUDIO 5.4, changes have been made that allow for better visualization of the cross-sectional slices. In the previous versions of TxSTUDIO, you could only enlarge the slices within their viewing windows. Now you may double-click within any sectional window and the image will appear in a larger viewing window. Double-click on the image to return to the original view.
PACS integration.
TxSTUDIO 5.4 now offers a PACS-compatible user interface. The software directly retrieves patient cases from PACS and opens them. Once the user is finished with case planning, the workup data is re-exported back into PACS.
Recent cases now displayed in TxSTUDIO upon launch.
If desired, you may open cases directly through TxSTUDIO rather than through Dexis or SmartScan Studio Manager. After TxSTUDIO is launched from its desktop icon, you will be in the File Manager. While not a new feature, let's take a look at the Open New Case window. You will see a path that will open either DICOM files or InVivo files. By clicking Browse, you will go to the location in the path to open your case. I'm going to show you how to designate the directory you would like to browse. Let's close this window and select File, Preference, and File Manager. If you would like to access a folder with DICOM cases, choose DICOM. For InVivo, Project, or Anatomodel cases, choose InVivo. In the Change Default Open Path window, browse for the folder that contains the desired cases and select OK to lock in your choice. When TxSTUDIO launches in the future, your desired folder will be ready to browse for a patient case. When you select either InVivo or DICOM and click Scan, recently opened cases will appear in the bottom window. Viewed cases will be saved in the window for 3 weeks after they were viewed. After that time, they will be removed from the window. To load a case into TxSTUDIO, simply double mouse click on it.
Thanks for joining us today. If you have any questions regarding TxSTUDIO, call ICAT Technical Support at 800-205-3570.